Hello, everybody. This is Rachna, and I am here with structure of a sentence for you. Well, children, we are going to be doing the English sentence structure. Now, before we carry on with this entire video, I would like to remind you that in the previous video, we had studied about subject and predicate and different types of sentences. I'm going to be sharing the link of that particular video with you below in the description box. Now we are going to be covering different parts, uh, enlargement and structure of the subject, enlargement of the predicate in this video. We are not going to be covering the complex, compound sentences, etc. We will cover that in the next video. Now, children, let's understand enlargement and structure of the subject. Just to give you an overview, I hope you recall that every sentence has a subject and a predicate. Okay? Now, when we say enlargement and structure of the subject of a sentence is generally a noun. However, please understand that subject is supposed to be something spoken about the thing that is being spoken about in that sentence. Now, that generally is a noun. However, in various sentences, you could find that we are talking about something else. Like, for example, the rumor. If you're talking about the rumor, that the rumor that he has failed is not true. So here we are talking about the rumor. In that event, the subject is the rumor. Now, if we look at this, a big city stood on the river. Here the subject is a big city and predicate is stood on the river. Now, what is the thing which is a little different over here? In this phrase, a big city, the adjective big, it pre-modifies the noun city. So, you can be having pre-modifiers and post-modifiers. Alright? Now we are going to cover enlargement of the predicate. If we come to think of it, there are very small sentences of just two words, like birds fly, fire burns, the sun shines. Now this particular sentence, if we see, is just a predicate of one word, which is a verb, and it is fly, burns, shines. If we want, we can have adverbs to the verb as well, like he walked slowly. Right? The verbs in the above examples do not have an object. Such verbs are called intransitive verbs. Alright? Now let's understand with the next pattern. Second pattern that we can see, we have his father is a doctor, which is a noun. A doctor is a noun. She is intelligent. Here it is an adjective. The book is here, which is an adverb. Now, the forms of be, am, is, are, was, were, and some other verbs like seem, look, appear are called linking verbs. They are followed by subject complements. The subject complement can be a noun like a doctor, or adjective intelligent, or an adverb here. Now, verbs can be followed by an object. Such verbs are called transitive verbs. For example, if you look at pattern 3. Now, in this pattern, we have the predicate, which is divided into two parts, verb and the complement. For example, killed the rat, broke the window, opened the door. Now, children, if we look at pattern 4, what do we see here? The verbs here are followed by two objects, an indirect object and a direct object. This, of course, is a predicate. If you read the first sentence, it is, he gave me a book. Now, he is the subject, whereas predicate is verb. It is divided into three parts. Verb, then it has an indirect object and a direct object. Like gave is the verb, indirect object is me, direct object is a book. Now, children, let's understand pattern number 5. These verbs are followed by an object and an object complement. The object complement can be a noun, adjective, or adverb. Okay? Now, for example, if we look at these sentences, what do we find? The subject is they, we, he. Whereas the predicate, we have the verb as elected. Let's take the first example. They elected him chairman. Here, elected is the verb, object is him. Now, the object complement is the chairman, which is a noun. Then we have, we found its servant honest. Here, honest is an adjective. The third one we have is, he put the book there. Now, there is an adverb. Now, children, let's understand this particular pattern number 6, which is in this particular pattern, the verb is followed by an infinitive to along with the verb. So, what is it? She can agree to marry him. Alright? Or I didn't bother to meet him. Now, children, if we look at pattern number 7, what do we find? That it is followed by a gerund. For example, you see the predicate is divided into two parts, verb and the gerund. The subject is she, and the sentence being, she likes dancing. So here what do we find? She is the subject, whereas the verb is likes and the gerund is dancing. Now let us take, for example, pattern number 8. Here the verb is followed by an object and a present participle. Right? Now, if we see the sentence, we found her cooking. Here the subject is we. Predicate has three parts. It's the verb, object and the present participle. Now, verb is found, object is her, present participle is cooking. Okay? Now, there are many other ways of enlarging the subject and the predicate, but we are going to limit ourselves only to the ones which are discussed over here. Right? Now, children, with this we come to the end of this video. In the next video, as I said earlier, we are going to be discussing more about the sentence, like the phrases and the clauses, simple, compound and complex sentences, but that will be in the future videos. For now, take very good care of yourself and keep drinking lots of water and doing breathing exercises as well. Bye-bye. Take care.